Happy Wednesday. Today we have upper back, and arms. I ended up not doing strides today just because I stayed up late last night doing research and all this other stuff. So I decided not to do legs, or not to do my strides this morning. So I'm gonna do sprints or strides or whatever you want to call it on Friday, my rest day instead. Funny enough, my feet and lower legs, like calves, kind of feel fatigued today anyway. So it's probably a good thing that I'm taking today off, because the way I look at it is, if the strides are doing their work, then I should probably be burning fat for 2 days afterwards. So that would be yesterday, my rest day, and today. So if I go back to them tomorrow and I do them Friday, then I do my cardio lower day with my conventional deadlifts and step ups and pistol squats, then I should be pretty well cooked for my day off on Sunday, and I go right back into legs on Monday. So you know, that's the whole idea of my strategy right now, is continuously keeping my body in a fat burning stage from recovery. And as we all know, you know, HIIT training, the benefit of HIIT training is that afterburn effect. You know, your body's recovering from firing those fast twitch muscles, and you know, you're not going to beat that. You know, so you know, as we all know, stress on the body is going to cause exhaustion, and it's going to cause you to start to regress in your training, because your body and your nervous system are sapped. So right then and there, you know, before you reach that point of exhaustion, you want to back off. And so, yeah, you know, Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, if I don't take Friday off and I run, I am putting my body under a lot of stress. But as an endomorph, you know, we really should be moving our bodies 6 days a week in all reality, especially if you're trying to get off fat. You know, once you're lean and you're chiseled, then maybe you don't have to work out that much. You have to find your own sweet spot, you know, in comparison to whatever your nutrition regime is. But you know, it varies, and it's one of those things that you have to, you know, it's based on weight, caloric intake, you know, what kinds of foods you're eating, what times of day you're eating. Obviously, you know, I've talked many times about carb backloading. You know, we really don't want to be having our carbs outside of that window of working out, and on our days off, we really don't want to be having any carbs at all, in all reality, especially if you're in a deficit, and especially, once again, if you're trying to cut. You know, not using the carb or eating carbs on your day off is, you know, yours basically saying to yourself that you're okay with gaining weight on your day off. And in all reality, I'm not cool with that when I'm on a cut, because when I'm on a cut, I don't necessarily want to get there as quick as possible, but I want to lose a pound a week. So, you know, which brings me to the topic of today's idea, video, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is what I got going on right now, you know, and I'll, you know, tune back in at some point to, you know, to talk about what, you know, I feel has, you know, if I benefited from this or not. But what I'm really trying to do is push that eating window all the way back to, like, man, 2 o'clock pretty much on my days off. Now, why am I doing that? Yesterday was a very good example of, like, of this working out fantastic for me. Yesterday, I pushed my first meal all the way back to late in the afternoon, and then I had a high protein meal, and then I wasn't even hungry until like the evening time. So last night I mean, I guess you would say I had like some cheat foods. I had a fish sandwich and some tater tots. Now, that was my day off. You know, I wasn't, you know, and I'm having, you know, fatty foods, carby foods later in the day. But I woke up lighter today. So, you know, I'm looking at that and saying, well, hey, you know, if I want to have some, you know, tasty foods, or if I want to go out to eat, then what I probably need to do is push that first meal till later in the day, have some protein at first, so I get some recovery going, and then I can have some carbs on my day off because I have such a surplus of calories left over from the day of not eating. Now, during that period of time, you know, during the day and all that stuff, I'm having, you know, my seltzer water. I'm having my, you know, black coffee, different things like that, and just really focusing on, you know, making sure that I'm, you know, gonna hit my my 1+ gallon of liquids on those days, because you know that's what's the intake of liquids and stay hydrated is actually what's driving recovery on those days. So I tend to focus heavily on that on my days off, but you know, I'm really trying to minimize the eating on my days off. You know, I don't want to intake a lot of food. Now, the other day when I was talking about, you know, every hour on the hour, you know, that's another strategy. You know, that's what we do. We play with everything, folks. Everything's different. And everything's different depending on like your activity level today. You know, Monday, I ran in the morning, 4 o'clock, and then I lifted at 8 o'clock. Today, I'm just gonna lift. I'm not gonna run. So how much my exertion level is different today. So my eating has to be different. You know, tomorrow I'm gonna run and I'm gonna lift on my legs. I can eat more food tomorrow. I can carb back low tomorrow and probably be just fine. But tomorrow I'm gonna do that every hour on the hour. I'm gonna fast from the evening tonight all the way into my workout tomorrow, and you know, and then after my workout I'm gonna have my carb meal, which I'll probably have my corn tortillas, and you know, topped with vegan cheese and beans and vegetables. But after that, I'll have, you know, something every hour and hour, my 150 grams of food. You know, everything's a little bit different for every day. But the thing is that, you know, what I was talking about the other day, counting or keeping track of the amount of food that you're eating, that's very real. And that's kind of what I'm doing, what I did yesterday, you know, because everything's weighed, obviously, and everything's tracked. The macros are tracked, the calories are tracked. Again, the weight of the food is tracked. And so, you know, yesterday was an awesome day. Yesterday, my intake was only roughly 1,400 grams of food. That's not even 3 pounds of food. And the majority of the food that I intook was protein, which, as we all know, takes, you know, more calories to burn, not than the calorie intake, but you know, you're looking at, per gram of protein, you're looking at, you know, 4 pounds or 4 calories per gram. And so you're looking at, you know, after the afterburn effect, you put that in there, and or not afterburn, but you look at the thermic effect of food and your metabolism having to burn through that food. You're looking at more like along the lines of 3 calories or 3.3 calories per gram. So, I mean, you know, I was sitting pretty yesterday. Now, is my appetite that way every day? No. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm exhausted and I'm hungry and I want carbs and I'm craving carbs like crazy. I just fight off the cravings. But you got to find what works for you. As an endomorph, you have to focus on those insulin levels. You have to focus on keeping those carbs super low. As I've said before, on your days where you train, you probably shouldn't be having more than 300 calories of carbohydrates. And you're basing that off of the grams. So each gram is 4 calories. You do the math. So, you know, roughly 75 grams of carbohydrates on your days where you train. And on your days where you're not training, close to none. I would say, if anything, 25 grams. You really don't need it. You know, drink a lot of water, eat a bunch of protein, eat your vegetables. You know, eat your kale, eat all the good, you know, the good ones, and you should be fine. Okay, but gotta train. You know, you gotta keep moving every day, even if you're just gonna walk every day. You know, you don't have to lift. You know, I like the lifting, I like the compound movements, I like the running and everything like that. But you know, for the most part, other than my lower back issues, you know, I'm healthy. You know, I've nursed myself back into a very good position. I'm feeling a lot better than I felt last year. And yeah, we just take it one day at a time. But as I always say, let's not try and lose more than a pound a week. I know you want to get there. I know you want it so bad. And I know that there's other fad diets and crash diets that'll get you there quicker, but it's not sustainable. Let's go the sustainable route. Let's learn our body. Let's strategize around, you know, and build our nutrition plan around our activity levels. You know, get those activity levels through the roof. Go walking, go hiking, lift weights, swim, do whatever you need to do to keep your body moving 5-6 days a week. Preferably 6. But you have to focus on the training. You have to focus on the training, but the nutrition is more important. Happy Wednesday.